My stroke occurred in May 24th of 2006. And it happened here at the house. I was in the bathroom washing my face, and I stood up and I actually felt something pop in the top of my head. And I remember having a conscious thought at that point where I said, wow, that was strange. And then I watched my hand drop to the counter, got a little bit dizzy and went to go sit down on the toilet, and I just slid to the floor. And I knew something was wrong, but couldn't quite grasp what it was. Sat on the floor for a little while and tried to get up unsuccessfully. And I realized something was wrong, but I couldn't figure out what it was. But I knew it was very serious, and I also knew that I needed to stay very calm. So I tried to call for my mom and dad, who were in the house, but they were pretty far away, so they couldn't hear me. And after several times of calling them, I actually realized maybe they couldn't hear me. Maybe there was no sound coming out of my voice because, I was a little dizzy at that point, and I was sort of seeing colors, and I wasn't sure what was real and what was sort of in my head at that point. So I realized I needed help, and I got on my stomach, and I started to use sort of walls and doors to push and pull myself to the telephone. Managed to make it to the telephone and have it, I don't know how I got it to fall down on the floor. I hope you don't mind. And I called 911. And I remember I told her, I think I had a stroke. And she laughed and she said, really? What made you think you had a stroke? And I said, well, I can't move my left side. And she said, well, how did you get to the phone? I said, it's a long story. Then she got real serious and she said, is anybody there with you? And I said, yes, my folks are here, but they're elderly and my mom went to bed. So if you could send an ambulance, but could you please ask them not to scare them? Because I don't want to cause them any harm. And fortunately, we live in a wonderful city, and they sent 911 and police and fire, and they arrived within probably 2 or 3 minutes. And they came in and had to break down my door because I have a habit of locking my door at night. And they really just scooped me up. They saw how serious it was, and they scooped me up and took me to the hospital. I was in the hospital within about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes after the stroke. There was something really powerful that I remember when I was in the hospital, and that was they wheeled me into the room for the CAT scan. They took the CAT scan, and the medics were talking about me. And I heard one of them talk about which doctor they were going to call, which neurosurgeon they were going to call. And they talked about a few, and one said, oh, he can't make it until morning. And the other one said, well, that's if she makes it till morning. And I remember at that point looking around the room, and I was the only one there. And I had this realization that they were talking about me. And I realized at that point that it was very serious, but I thought, wow, is this what dying feels like? I don't feel like I'm dying. I'm not in pain. I don't feel panicked. I actually feel quite calm. And it was the first of many experiences I would have that night where I heard a lot about the fact that I may not be alive much longer. But I never lost consciousness. I never passed out. I never lost the ability to speak. And so in that way, I was very lucky in misfortune.